Hello and welcome back, everybody. Today I am going over fixing some logging in issues that I'm having. Oh yeah, I need to blur that. To summarize from last night, I was able to finish out everything that I needed to get done with Glyph. All that is left is just these make sures, which is basically just being like, hey, when I go into the settings page and I change the number of threads, does that work? Does this number of layers actually apply to the backend? Does this actually apply to the model? That's what I'm gonna be doing next. And then lastly, once I know that works, then we're gonna try and compile for Windows and make sure everything works on Windows as well. And at that point, I'll have to hop over to my PC to make sure things work. As for Fortify, I did fix the issue where you can log in, and when we go ahead and select a model, we can actually make a like or a dislike, and it actually applies to the page. Another small detail that I added was to add this pagination table thing here, make it look a bit more clean, as well as the same thing that I added to Glyph, where you can type in what page number you want to go to instead of having to constantly click. So the last thing that you saw me work on earlier was that when I go to try and log in with Google, I get an error and it doesn't actually log me in. I did fix the URI error, but now it's a different error saying that my client ID is not matching, which is confusing because I only have one client ID and I copy pasted it, and it's still not working. I won't show anything with me trying to figure out this error, just because there are a lot of sensitive keys on this website that I don't want accidentally exposed, and it would be a real pain to edit and censor out. Even me just pulling up the console, there's my client ID is kind of just right there. So sorry about that, but I will cut to when I will begin debugging these last few issues, or not debug issues, but just confirming these last three things do work. I do want to take some time really quickly to say thank you. I'm at 35 subscribers right now. I know that's like basically nothing, but compared to when I just started uploading about 6 days ago when I started, I had 20. So that's like a whole extra 15 of you guys who decided, hey, I'm gonna take the time to click that subscribe button. And I really do just appreciate anyone who takes the time to stop by and take a look at what I'm building. I would like for if you guys also just say down below in the comments what you're working on, what struggles you're having. And I know it's a plug, but go to the Fortify website, scroll all the way down to the bottom and click on the Discord link and join the Discord. I'm constantly on a computer all day throughout the day, and if I'm not on the computer, I have my phone with me with Discord on it. So if you have any questions or want to just talk about anything, just shoot me a message and I'll be free to say what's up. The business manager Nick will also be there if you want to ask him some questions, or if you guys want to know more about the business side of things, do let me know, because that is something I would be willing to make videos for and trying to go throughout the process. I started to a little bit for there's like 2 videos that I tried when I was kind of starting. So yeah, do let me know if you want to know more about the actual business side of things in terms of payments to different things that are needed, like the AWS server, the SQL server, collecting payments for different things, and how do I know I can turn a profit so I can be able to afford one of these bad boys right here. Anyways, thank you. I appreciate you guys watching. Let's get into it. Alright, welcome back. After some long hours of debugging, I was finally able to get the Fortify site working with my Google login stuff. So now if you go to the login page of Fortify, you can now click sign in with Google and click your Gmail account. You will be brought to this page to then just download and use the app. I think to stick with the whole privacy theme, I'm gonna make it so that the only reason you would have to log in is if you wanted to use the pro features that I'm building out. And then obviously for tracking likes, dislikes, and reviews on the different models, and reviews for the app itself. If you do log in with an account you've already made, like say for me, I have my Gmail listed under this account that I've already created. if I were to then go ahead and log in later with my Gmail, that Gmail is the same Gmail that will be used for the account, and they're kind of just tied together. And with that out of the way, now we're going to go ahead and start going over Glyph and making sure that these things are in check and everything compiles and works correctly as intended. I don't currently think they are, but I could be wrong. So we're just going to go ahead and check everything out. Okay, so one of the things we do want to make sure is this verbose thing here. And to make things a bit more clear for my workspace, I'm gonna go ahead and close everything. And we only want to view these kind of things to make sure that these are properly set from the settings page. And this whole settings page is dictated by saving everything locally to a settings JSON file. Okay, I just closed the production version and we're launching the dev version. That way we can see all of the logs happening here. Really hard to go through this feed of information because of all the constant grabbing of system info. And even that's not really working right now. I'm gonna try and figure out how to turn that off. So this is a lot more manageable to like go through and see if something is failing or not. All right, so we got our logs for development. There we go. Okay, we're gonna load a model. We get that giant swoop of information, and right now I want to just save this so I actually know what kind of appears. Actually, we might use chat to check out these logs and ask questions on what information is there. Damn, good thing the 04 has like a million context window, because holy fuck. So I'm just gonna ask it, how do I get a better understanding of what's happening here, so that way I can like know what's going through. Checking the model path, and then it's got my CPU and GPU usage stuff. Preload stats. Right before loading the model, it logs the model file size in your process memory. On initializing this, loader then dumps metadata. Okay, so we can get the model name, architecture, tensor count, and things like that. I had a feeling that we could do that. I'm just wondering, because maybe I can make it so that for error handling of all the models that are on Hugging Face's page are not entirely filtered out. I like, to the best of my ability, I'm trying to filter out just purely text models, and like, yeah, like probably like 99% of them are just text models, but you know, that 1% are right here, like this Juan Video or Flux. I believe these are like, this is an image generation model, this is a video generation model. I've seen some that say like audio, yeah, Omni Audio right here. Okay, it processes both text and audio inputs. All right, that's fair. But yeah, one of the main culprits is like this video generation thing here. I need to be able to tell if a user's they download this and they're trying to load it in. It's not just gonna freak out and crash. All right, now we can actually ask it. We'll turn this off. Save, it should reload the model. So I detected that I want 0 GPU layers. Okay, cool. So that checks off that on my list. Well, actually, let me see if I can allocate like 50-50. So that works. And then let's try like a case where someone were to try and input something whack, like -30. I think it should just automatically convert it to positive, right? If not, I'll just change that. All right, cool. Well, at least we know that doesn't like break anything, but I will try and go in and make it so that you can only put in values from -1 to and up. So I need more like warnings, I think, for this kind of thing. Because I know I have crashed my MacBook before trying to do stuff like this. And I know for LM Studio that if I were to try, like say this model, you can do 1 million contexts, but if you crank the context to the max, I'd send it, try and load the model, If it fits the full thing, that's crazy. I'm pretty sure it crashes. Or just like doesn't work. Yeah. That's a load model. Destination context. Oh, okay. Alright, time for the big one. I'm gonna make a new chat here and I'm gonna eject it, and I'm gonna first load one that works. So we have a reference as to what something looks like when it loads and it works. And then paste that into here. We give it to 04 mini, and while he's processing that, we'll go ahead and eject our model now. So that way now we can pull up Qwen 3 for when it fails. Unknown model architecture Qwen 3. And we can paste this into chat as well and ask about how it failed. We'll give it search because the answer might be within an updated version of Llama C++. Oh my god. I pasted the logs into Grok, and this is the response it gave me. Your request is as expansive as the galaxy itself. Could you be a bit more terrestrial for us? I guess Grok can't handle the long ass log outputs. Okay, but we got back on an answer for the Qwen 3 failure coded in the GGUF file. Yep, so the issue is indeed I just have to update the Llama library. So right now I'm trying to figure out exactly how do I even check that the inference parameters are being properly applied, because some of them they're like just didn't exist logging for them. So I actually don't know if they are being applied to the model or not, but hopefully we have logging now. So okay, so I think this means that it is properly being applied. These are kind of all grouped together, so as long as temperature works, should be good. And I feel like that's kind of the easiest one to look at and see a difference. Well, I think I could just do the extremes of, we'll make this 0.1.
Webserver Bronson here. All I'm doing essentially in this is that when the temperature is closer to 0, I should get more consistent same results versus when it's 1, I should get more mixed and creative results. And that's all I'm really testing for.
Or not. Yeah, I could tell difference. All right. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I didn't really change any code. I just kind of added like logging where needed. But I guess so now I could try and fix this issue that a user can still put in a negative like 30 value for the for the layers, and like this should be a simple like cursor can knock this out right away. We need to make sure that Windows works, but that will take a long time, and it's already 1:30 in the morning. So I think once this is done, I'm gonna make it so that I can at least build, and then right before I go to bed, I'll hit run and I'll build all of the versions so that it runs while I'm sleeping, even though to build all of them, it should only take like max an hour, 2 hours max. Okay, well, yeah, if I did, yeah, as soon as I do negative and then anything else, it goes away except for 1, and it'll let me do that. Bet. All right, cool. This is the only thing that's left, and then you guys can test it out. All right, let's build both. Before I do build, I need to make sure that no chat histories, system stats are reset, and the settings is also reset. Oh yeah, the language. Fuck. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to implement this at all. I think that's a later issue. Like, I'm gonna comment that out. I think that's what we'll do. Should be good to go, and we're ready to build. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Aside from the login page for the Fortify website not working, it was pretty easy to get through everything. And we are essentially ready for a beta release. I'm gonna just basically finalize over some final details over the next few days, and probably Saturday night I will officially make it public, and you'll find out in the video on Saturday if that's going to be true or not. Anyways, see you tomorrow.